10 potential DLC seasons for Star Wars Battlefront 2 Part 2. Now lately I have been very careful when considering making Part 2s, even Part 3s for certain videos. There was a point on this channel when I was stretching out a lot of series. I don't think I need to tell you which one in particular I'm referring to. So I only make part 2s to videos now if I really feel like it is necessary, and of course I feel like this is necessary. Firstly, because I still had a lot of ideas left. Secondly, you guys had tons of ideas that you wanted me to cover in a video still that I hadn't done. And then finally, well, let's be honest, we're not going to get most of these, so we might as well just have a bit of fun and speculate about them in a video. That's all these videos are, people, so try your best not to take them too seriously. We're just having a bit of fun. Nothing I'm talking about is confirmed. We're just having fun, as I said, speculating about the endless possibilities of content that could maybe be added to Battlefront 2. So we finished off the last video on DLC Season 11, and now we're on to DLC Season 12. Only I would cover stuff like this. So we've got an Umbara DLC from the Clone Wars. I left this one out of the last video. A lot of people didn't agree with me, but I just felt like I had to think this one through a bit more before talking about it. So for maps, we've got the Republic Outpost, the Umbara Capital, and the Battle of Umbara space map. I'm trying to get a few more space maps into these videos, as a lot of you weren't happy about that, as there wasn't many of them in the last part, let's be honest. Now Heroes was a hard one for this DLC. I can see a lot of you thinking my choices were stupid, but I've decided to put Ponkrell on the villains team, and then obviously Anakin was in my last video, so I've had to go with a random Jedi, so I've gone with Qui-Gon because he didn't make it into the last video either. Don't worry, I've watched the show. I know Qui-Gon isn't in those episodes, but what do you do in this situation? You don't put Ponkrell on the hero's side and have another villain. You put Ponkrell on the villain's side and just have a random Jedi. That's the best thing I could come up with. For vehicles, we would have Umbaran fighters and scavenged Umbaran fighters as well for the Republic, and then the Umbaran mobile heavy cannons as well. And just as a little addition here, for infantry, it probably wouldn't be the droids, it would be the Umbaran soldiers to match the episodes. Up next, we've got a second Rogue One DLC. The planets would be Scarif and Jeddah, and the maps could potentially be Saw Gerrera's castle, Landing Pad 13 from Scarif, which was in the last Battlefront, and the Battle of Scarif space map. Heroes could maybe be Cassian Andor and Grand Moff Tarkin. A few people say we don't really see Tarkin fight, but let's be honest, we never really saw Nien Nunb fight and he made it into the last game, so at this rate anything is possible. Now a very popular reinforcement for the Empire that you all wanted me to include was the KX series security droids. These were actually the same droids as K2SO. I am a bit skeptical about this hero ship, but I saw it in the comments a lot and I want to try and cater to as many of you as possible, so we could have the stolen Imperial cargo shuttle that some of the crew from Rogue One use. Vehicles may be the Imperial combat assault tank for the Empire. The Rebels, once again as I said in the last video, don't have many options, and then infantry on Scarif would obviously change to the Shore Troopers. We've got a Bespin DLC next. A lot of you were very unhappy that I didn't include this in the first part of the video. This is one of the reasons I just had to make a part 2 because there are so many ideas we just didn't cover. Maps may be Cloud City, Carbon Freezing Chamber and the Administrator's Palace. Heroes could be Nien Nunb because everybody wants him back for some reason. I really don't know why you all do. And maybe Zuckuss as well, one of the bounty hunters I left out of the last video. And then for reinforcements we could have Bespin Wing Guards and the Emperor's Royal Guards, who were both added with the Bespin DLC in the last game. Vehicles may include the orange cloud cars for the Rebels and the blue cloud cars for the Imperials. One of the biggest complaints I saw in the comments of the last video as regards to Star Wars Rebels was that I should have chosen Atollon as the planet instead of Lothal for the DLC. So instead of going back on that, I've just made a second Rebels DLC here. Maps could be Chopper Base, the Krynka Cave, I hope that's how you say it, that's the Spider's Cave for those of you who are wondering, and the Battle of Atollon space map. Heroes might be Sabine Wren, and one of the most popular suggestions in the whole comments section of the last video, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Reinforcements might be Clan Wren, Mandalorians and Imperial Riot Troopers. Obviously the Riot Troopers were in the campaign, and I think this would just be a nice way to get them into the multiplayer, even though they've not been seen in Rebels. And finishing off this DLC, the vehicles might be the Mandalorian Starfighters and the AT DP Walkers. I think it's only right for you sequel trilogy fans out there that I give you a second sequel trilogy DLC, with the planets being Canto Bight, the Supremacy, and no doubt a very controversial choice of Act 2. The Canto Bight Fields, the Burning Supremacy Hangar, and the Act 2 Island could all work as very nice maps. Maybe the Act 2 Island would just be a blast map, something like that. And then for the heroes, we have one of the fan favourites, Rose Tico, and then DJ as well. I was going to include Snoke, but a lot of you said in my live stream, because I asked you for a bit of knowledge on this one, would Snoke work on the maps? And a lot of you said he probably wouldn't, so I've listened to you on that one as well. I think the First Order Executioners would make for a great reinforcement, and maybe for vehicles we could have the Mobile Assault Walkers and the Scavenged Mobile Assault Walkers for the Resistance, who just like the Rebellion, basically have no vehicles. Let's do a second Republic DLC with the planets being Geonosis and Naboo, so just adding more maps to the planets that we already talked about in the last video. These maps could be the Geonosian Catacombs, the Naboo Playing Fields, and the Naboo Forest, with heroes being Qui-Gon Jinn, who so many people wanted me to include in this video, Luminara Unduli, Captain Rex, and Commander Cody. And then the reinforcements being the Naboo security guards. Just for those of you wondering, the Republic DLC is very random, just like the Bounty Hunter DLC I discussed in the last video. Qui-Gon Jinn and Captain Rex never met, I know that, but it's just different characters from the Republic. Speaking of a Bounty Hunter DLC though, let's do a second one with the planets being Sullust and Tatooine, and adding more maps from the last game like the last Bounty Hunter DLC did. We would have the Sora Sub Pipelines, the Junlan Waste, and the Sail Barge Garage. Let's be pretty random with the heroes and give this DLC Aurra Sing, Embo, IG-88 and Bausch. These are just complete guesses about the movie, so if I get stuff wrong here, I apologise, but like I said, I don't know anything about this film. I know as much as you guys watching. The planet might be Kessel, and one of the maps we could get could be the Spice Mines of Kessel. We could get new hero skins for Han and Lando, and new heroes being Kira or Beckett, some of the leaked character names. One of the reinforcements could be the leaked Range Trooper for the Empire, and maybe for a hero ship we could have the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon, and for normal vehicles maybe Land Speeders. I'm just going off leaks and stuff like that, guys, as far as this DLC goes, hence why none of the leaked images are in the video, because we don't want to get a copyright strike, anything like that. So everything I just said about the Solo movie could be wrong, we just don't know at this point, but it's nice to speculate about what we could maybe get. I'm probably going to get moaned at a lot for this one, but I've listened to everyone else's ideas, so I just had to put myself first for this one and put another Clone Wars DLC in there. I just love the Clone Wars. So for a third Clone Wars season, only I'm crazy enough to do this, we've got the planet as Florum, and the maps being the Doshar Fields, the Pirate Outpost, and the Secret Ship Vault. Heroes could be Adi Gallia and Savaggio Press. Obviously they battle it out on Florum, so that would work very nicely, and maybe the reinforcements could be the Weequay Pirates, along with the vehicles being the Pirate Speeder Tanks and the Hellfire Droids for the Separatists. And to even Clone Wars and Rebels out on this DLC list, we're going to do a third Rebels DLC with the planet being Garel. The maps might be the docking ports, the Garel Streets, and the Battle of Garel Space Map, with the heroes being Ezra Bridger and the Seventh Sister. And then concluding the entire list, the vehicles might be the Imperial Speeder Bikes, Scavenged Speeder Bikes, and Imperial Patrol Transports. But that is it, everyone. Overall, I've covered 20 DLC seasons now. We're gonna get nowhere near that. It's just a bit of fun, as I've said, a bit of speculation, so don't take anything I've said too seriously, please. I do hope you enjoyed, everyone. I will not be doing a part 3. I'm sorry if I've not included all the ideas you left in the comments section, but I just can't get everything into 2 videos. But thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you all next time.